What's going on, guys? Kivox here in Meekachii. We are doing our TBR and also, what is it called?
Well, the N.E.W.T.s TBR.
The N.E.W.T.s TBR. And I'm doing my TBR because I'm not crazy and I'm not going to be reading 80,000 books this month.
Me neither.
I'm going to maybe read 2 or 3 if I'm lucky. I have 2 from last month that I don't think I finished. So there's that. So that's going to probably be included in this. So we're going to start off with the mystery books because there are a few things that we do. We do the her little jar of sequel books that she put a bunch in here. I think 12 at the beginning of the year. So there should be 5. 5 left. And then I wrapped these. I was born with wrapping paper. And when my mom brought me into this world, she's like, wrap these books for your future wife. And I was like, yes, ma'am. I will start today. And I finished in January of 2020. So we have 5 books left, and I don't remember where they are. That's the best part.
They're from my physical TBR shelf that he wrapped, and I don't know what they are.
Look, they're like all the same size too. Like that's surprising. Anyway, we're gonna start off with these, and then we're gonna try to work them into your readathon.
I'm gonna be blatantly honest. I'm probably not going to finish the N.E.W.T.s, but I like creating my TBR. I think it's fun, so I'm gonna do it.
I don't like it.
No, you hate it.
So I'm not gonna do it. I think it ruins books. It ruins reading for me.
Yeah, the last one was not so fun.
It was
I did
miserable.
Terrible.
Want to start with this or that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Roll your D6. So it'll be, hold on, let me shuffle them a little bit. It'll be 1 at the top and 5 at the bottom. And if you roll a 6, we'll re-roll. 3. 1, 2, 3. It's the denim one.
Oh, this is a big book because it's paperback and it's big.
It may not be big. Can you hurry up? We don't have all day. Don't rip the book, though.
I know, right?
Just open it at the seam. The seam's right here.
You always tell me not to look.
Then don't look. Close your eyes.
Now I'm looking. Ooh. Black Star Renegades. By Michael More, I can't say his last name. This is basically an arc that was randomly sent to me, but it sounds really good. Blending the space operatics of Star Wars and the swagger of Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Star Renegades is a galaxy-hopping adventure that blasts its way from seedy spacer bars to sacred temples guarded by deadly creatures. I don't know. It seems like an intriguing sci-fi book.
I think I picked all the books that I want to read with you.
You're gonna like. So my last pick was Dark Matter.
Dark Matter, yeah.
And I'm
That's
really
good.
enjoying it so far.
That's good. Damn
I think you'll like it. I'm
Damn
like
it.
110 pages in, so I'm trying desperately to finish it by the end of the month, but it's really good so far. So I think you'll like it. TBR jar.
Oh, TBR jar. You want to draw it?
You always do it.
All right.
What do you want it to be?
I don't know. I don't even remember what they were. Where are they?
Me neither.
Where'd you put them? Is that them there?
They're over there somewhere.
Wait, what was the one that you wanted that we talked about last time?
I don't know.
We were like, oh, it has to be this one. Is it the one up at the top? No, that's not it. Muse of Nightmares.
Yeah.
That's the one, right? That we wanted?
No.
There's only 3 there, Meek.
Well, because I think some are downstairs.
Well, it's okay. I'll just draw the one that it needs to be. All right. This was the book.
How do you always do this every time? My Plain Jane by the Lady Janies. Dude, literally, last time you did this too, he wanted me to read a specific book and he pulled it out. Are you magic?
I've read this. I read both of them, and I really like this one. I like both of them. They're just nice, simple, like, easy to read. There's a little bit of supernatural stuff in there. It's cool. I like it.
Yeah, these are like fantasy-esque retellings of like women or stories in history with women named Jane. So like the first one was My Lady Jane. This one is My Plain Jane. This one's based off of Jane Eyre, the book. But it changes things, and they like purposely change history and change the way things are supposed to be, and they make them like whimsical and funny and just silly. But I've been meaning to read this for so long, and I'm shocked that you read it like a year ago, and I haven't read it yet.
Because you do that all the time. You buy sequels and you never read them.
I'm trying to do better, hence my wrapping and jars and the whole nine. The only other book that I know I'm reading so far this month is the first book in the Legend of Drizzt series, Homeland. This is the book club pick for August.
This isn't a book. This is a box set with 3 books.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you guys knew that because this is terrifying if this was a book. This is like ridiculous.
So the book club is August 30th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll talk about this again in a moment. I have to go now try to fit all of these books into my TBR for the N.E.W.T.s.
And we're back.
And I forgot about a book.
What do you mean?
So there's another book. We'll start there. That I'm doing a buddy read on my Patreon chat. So that didn't make sense.
No, what do you mean?
Well, if you're a patron, you can have access to our Discord, and then I sometimes do buddy reads on Discord.
Makes sense.
With people.
Makes
there you
sense.
go.
Okay.
So we decided to read a book for August, and it happened to fit one of the prompts. So once again, I chose healer because I'm boring and I have zero creativity.
That's
and,
true. I believe it.
I like being a healer every year for the owls and the newts.
Can confirm.
I have to get an E in herbology, which is 2 books. So the A category is flowers on the cover, which my Discord buddy read happens to have. It is Light Between Worlds by Laura Weymouth. It is so shiny. You could see there are flowers on the cover. 6 years ago, Evelyn and Philippa cowered from airstrikes in a London bomb shelter, but that night took a turn when the sisters were swept away to a strange and beautiful kingdom called the Woodlands, where they lived for years in a forest straight out of myth and legend.
Is this the wardrobe?
It's compared to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
It's like the same concept. It's basically what happens there.
When they finally returned to London, no time had passed and nothing had changed.
It's exactly the same thing.
Now Evelyn is desperate to return to the Woodlands no matter what it takes, while Philippa just wants to move on. But when Eve goes missing, or Ev, I guess, Evelyn, Philippa must confront the depth of her sister's despair. So, yeah, it is talked about as being a...
Is it like based off
Narnia-esque. No. Well, I'm sure it is like, not technically, but it was based off of it. But I've heard it being compared to that many times. For an E in herbology, I have to read a book that is impactful. And I don't read a lot of stuff that's supposed to be quote-unquote impactful because I read a lot of fantasy and
What
sci-fi.
does that even mean?
Like, I guess like life-altering or something you find like that impacts your life in some way.
What? What could possibly do that as a book?
I don't know. I had a very hard time with this one. However, I've had this book for a while, and I've been wanting to read it. It's called This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. I believe it's about a doctor. I think he works in England.
Another thing, too, how do you know if something's going to be impactful before you read it?
You don't really, but I guess based on reviews that other people do. This, I mean, it says all over it, like, hilarious yet heartbreaking, politically enraging. I don't know. I like medical stuff. So basically, this talks about, it's a doctor's personal account on him going through, I think, what do they call it?
Existential crisis. School.
No, when you're in your residency, I believe. So it says 97-hour weeks, life and death decisions, a constant tsunami of bodily fluids, and the hospital parking meters earn more than you. Welcome to the life of a junior doctor. Scribbled in secret after endless days, sleepless nights, and missed weekends, Adam Kay's diaries provide a no-holds-barred account of his time on the NHS frontline. Hilarious, horrifying, and heartbreaking, this is everything you wanted to know and more than a few things you didn't about life on and off the hospital ward. So, like I said, I've heard it's funny, but I heard it is very impactful at the same time, and I like medical stuff, so I've been wanting to read this for a while. I actually had to order it off of Book Depository because they did not sell it in the US at the time. I don't know if they do now, but that's where I got it.
So I don't like this prompt or whatever because one, it doesn't make sense. You have to go by what other people said, and 90% of these people that talk about books, they're just like
they don't agree with each other on what's impactful.
No, it's just like they're just like I just don't trust people. Like I just feel like people are like fake a lot.
I mean,
is that bad? I mean, this may not be popular opinion, but it is mine. People are just super fake, especially in like the book community. People are just like, "Oh my god, it's so good," and I'm like, "Oh my god."
This,
disagree
however,
greatly.
I did not hear about this from BookTube. I heard about this through my own research of like books.
How? But isn't your research on BookTube?
No, like I read a lot of like book lists and upcoming books and stuff like that. So it's like I found this randomly, and I love stuff like this, like medical stuff and real accounts of like people's experiences in the hospital. I mean, we talk about stuff like this all day at work, and I just like it. I think it's fun. So I got it because of that. And people happen to say that it's impactful, but I've only heard those things through written reviews and not BookTube, which is where we see a lot of like, I feel people being fake.
Okay. It's like the same people.
I'm going to get a lot of hate for that.
It's like the same people, man.
Then I have to do charms. So to get an A in charms, I have to read a book that's humorous or funny, which this could have technically been that, but...
What?
Well, because this is supposed to be funny. But this was the one that I just pulled out of the jar, or he pulled out of the jar, and he's read it. He says it's funny, so we're going with this.
It's not hilarious, but it's definitely like a
humorous.
more like a lighthearted book. It's not like super serious and doesn't take itself seriously.
I mean,
at
the
all.
last one was funny.
And there's a connection to the last one in this one.
So I chose that. A book set in winter. This one was a little hard for me, but I've had this book for a while, and it was actually randomly sent to me, which is funny because I love Frozen, but it's Conceal, Don't Feel. This has been out for a little while. I have no idea if the reviews are good or bad, but it's basically like an alternate twisted tale where Elsa and Anna never meet, or they haven't met yet, and then it's,
Is Olaf in it?
I have no idea. So I think doesn't the movie technically start in summer and she turns it into winter? So I'm guessing
An everlasting winter.
Yeah, like I'm guessing winter is going to be in this somewhere somehow. So that's why I chose this.
Somewhere, somehow, underneath the stars. I don't know if that's how it goes.
No, somewhere out there.
Yeah, but this makes sense for this scenario.
Then, Defense Against the Dark Arts.
I think Fievel sings like just as well as I do. We're like pretty dead on with our crackly voices and
It wasn't a great singer.
Yeah, it was on purpose though. I'm not.
Defense Against the Dark Arts. For A, I have to read a horror/thriller book.
For A, I have to read?
For A, the A prompt acceptable.
Oh, so wait, why is it A? So you're not going to be the best?
You have to do the A and the E.
Oh, man, I thought you only had to do one.
No, I said this. So I have to get an E.
I don't know how the rules work.
I have to get an E in 5 subjects, so I have to read 2 books in each subject.
What if you get E in all of them? Oh, wait, E is exceptional?
Yeah, and then O is outstanding. I don't have to get an O for anything.
But you don't.
Otherwise, you'd have to read.
Striving for O's?
You'd have to read 3 in 1.
Wow.
Dude, no way. I think The Alchemist or something like that is all the prompts. It's crazy.
This is not fun. Like, I don't get that. Like, why would you want to... It's like just punching yourself in the face all month long. It's just like, oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to start punching myself in the face.
I'm
here
not
we
going to be serious about it this year.
Why?
Because
I'm going to make... guys, I'm I'm gonna start a readathon. All right, it's gonna be 1 year long, and you have to read one book, whatever book you freaking want to read. Have fun. Read more if you want to.
I'm not going to be serious about it this year because every time I'm serious about these readathons, I usually fail and end up reading a bunch of books that I hate, which is what happened with the Owls in April. I had the worst reading month ever. But anyway, horror thriller. I chose The Shadows by Alex North. This just came out last July, I believe this month. And I got a book of the month copy. If you're a book reviewer and you sign up for a NetGalley, they started doing audiobooks, and I think this audiobook is free right now. I got it for free. So I don't know though if you have to meet certain criteria as far as like subscriber count and stuff like that. I have no idea, but it was free to a lot of people if you already have a NetGalley account. So I have the audiobook of this. I plan on reading it this month for my horror thriller pick. I don't even know what it's about. You knew a teenager like Charlie Crabtree, a dark imagination, a sinister smile, always on the outside of the group. Some part of you suspected he might be capable of doing something awful. 25 years ago, Crabtree did just that, committing a murder so shocking and it's attracted that strange kind of infamy that only exists on the darkest corners of the internet and has inspired more than one copycat. Paul Adams remembers the case all too well. Crabtree and his victim were Paul's friends. Paul has slowly put his life back together, but now his mother, old and suffering from dementia, has taken a turn for the worse. Though every inch of him resists, it's time to come home. So where does this come? Like, I don't know what's going to happen in this book, but...
Is it scary because of the hand on the cover?
No, it's like a horror thriller, I'm guessing, because it's like about a murder.
Oh.
Wait, I didn't read this part. It's not long before things start to go wrong. He learns that Detective Amanda Beck is investigating another copycat that's struck in the nearby town. So, I mean, to me it sounds like a thriller. We'll see. Unexpectedly, for my E prompt for Defense Against the Dark Arts, I chose this book as my flower prompt, but apparently this book has demons in it too. So the prompt is to read a book with demons or a water theme. And in here it says...
Those are like... Are they related to each other?
What?
Water theme
I don't
or
know.
demons?
All of these have a longer explanation as to why they are what they are, but I wasn't going to go into that. There was not, as all stories begin, a princess cursed to be poisonous to the touch. There was and there was not, as all stories begin. But for Soraya, I think that's how you say it, who lived her life...
Plaque Soraya.
I'm like, what? Lived her life hidden away apart from her family, safe only in her gardens, and it's not just a story. As the day of her twin brother's wedding approaches, she must decide if she's willing to step outside of the shadows for the first time. Below in the dungeon is a demon who holds knowledge that she craves, the answer to her freedom. And above is a young man who isn't afraid of her, whose eyes linger with not fear but an understanding of who she is beneath the poison. So, there's a demon in it. Then for potions, my A prompt is read a book with Sky in the title or on the cover, which this was the book that Kivox wrapped for me, Black Star Renegades, that I'm choosing for that one. Author name starts with D. I've been meaning to read this book forever, and I'm shocked that I didn't put it in my TBR sequel jar. But that is Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix by Julie Dow.
Julie is not a D.
Dow.
Just saying,
it could
though.
be the first or last name.
Okay, you got to specify the rules. Thank you.
So this is the... I don't think it's a direct sequel, but it is the second book that she wrote. The first one being The Force of 1,000 Lanterns. I really enjoyed the first one. They're very, like, fairy tale-esque, but, like, creepy and dark at the same time. This says, Princess Jade has grown up in exile, hidden away in a monastery, while her stepmother, the ruthless Shi Feng, I think is how you say it, rules an empress of Feng Lu. But the empire is in distress, and its people are sinking into poverty and despair. Even though Jade doesn't want the crown, she knows she's the only one who can dethrone the empress and set the world right. Ready to reclaim her place as the rightful heir, she embarks on a quest to raise the Dragon Lords and defeat her, or Shifeng, and the Serpent God. I'm sorry if I'm saying that name wrong. It's been a long time since I read the first one. But essentially, that Queen Lady was the main character in the last book.
Do I know this one? The first one?
You've seen it.
Oh.
My last class I have to do is Transfiguration, and the first one is an animal on the cover, which the book club pick does that.
What's it called, Meek? What's it called?
Homeland by R.A. Salvatore.
It's a Drizzt.
Dritz.
A Drizzt.
It's the first Dritz novel.
I haven't read it yet.
Nope.
I started it.
August.
Like 10 years ago, maybe. I don't know. Several years ago. What do I know about it? I don't. It's about a dark elf, and he has a kitty cat, and that's on the cover.
It's about Dritz, who is a drow. This is set in the Forgotten Realms, which is part of, like, the Wizards of the Coast D&D.
Can I see it so I could show them?
I didn't know what you were doing.
You're like, look at this tiny cover. Can you guys see that?
He's a dark elf that lives in the underground realm of Menzo Berenzin, who doesn't really get along with his own people.
He's super emo.
He's not emo.
He's the biggest emo
Dude, stop
ever.
saying that until you read it. He's not emo.
Mick, have you seen what he looks like?
He's sexy.
He is the emoest dark elf I've ever seen. Everyone else is like, yes, mistress. Yes, I will do your bidding. And he's like, oh, I don't wanna.
That is not it at all.
I'm gonna pet my kitty and go up to the surface with icing death and glitter. Icing twinkled glitter. What are their names?
Icing Death and Twinkle.
I was pretty close, so.
He knows nothing about this book. Don't listen to him.
All I know is that I'm reading it too.
It's really good.
It's one of my TBRs.
I read these books, like, I think I read 10 or so of them a long time ago, and my goal is to, like, catch up because there are still Dritz books coming out, and I want to read them.
And we just got one in the mail the other day. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty scary looking.
Yeah.
It has a monster on the cover.
So, August 30th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live stream. If you want to read this with us, I highly recommend it. I've read it before. It is one of my all-time favorite series. He's my book boyfriend.
Me.
Kivox has to allow it because he was my boyfriend
what
before I met
What if I get
Kivox.
put in a book?
He will still forever be my book boyfriend. You're my real-life husband.
But not your boyfriend? Can I be your real-life boyfriend too?
Sure.
Okay.
Then the last book I have to read for Transfiguration for an E is a book with dragons or fire on the title or cover. This is The Sky Is Yours by Chandler Smith.
Wait, you changed your mind?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Does that count as a dragon?
That is dragons.
It's a neon light with two dragons on it.
It's about dragons.
Jesus. Did you have to yell that?
So, it says, in the burned-out futuristic city of Empire Island, 3 young people navigate a crumbling metropolis constantly under threat from a pair of dragons that circle the skies.
All right, I'll give it to you. What's it called? Is it called Dragon?
The Sky Is Yours.
No, it's not.
This author has imagined an unimaginable world, at once far away and disturbingly familiar, its singular chaos grounded in the universal realities of love, family, and the deeply human desire to survive at all costs.
I have written an unwritable book.
So, not gonna lie, this book has sounded intriguing to me for a long time, but it has not great reviews. It has like I think a 3-ish. So I'm really nervous.
That's pretty average.
Yeah, I think it's got that. I don't know what it is now. I haven't looked it up in a while, but this just sounds so cool to me, and like, I'm gonna give it a shot no matter what. So I might as well do it during this readathon.
How many books is that? 10?
10.
Nice.
I'm totally not gonna do it. The 4 that I have to read are gonna be the Dritz book, obviously, for the book club, the Black Star Renegades, because that was my wrapped book, My Plain Jane, because that was in my TBR jar, and then Light Between Worlds, because that is the Patreon book read, buddy read. So those are my 4 definites. The other ones, as time permits.
Sorry.
What are you doing?
Getting my book so I could talk about them.
Go.
So my first book that I'm reading is The Land
Founding?
Founding. It's a Chaos Seed Book 1. It's like supposedly like one of the original. It says the father of American lit RPG. Begins. Okay. I was just like, that doesn't make sense to me. It still doesn't make sense to me. I'm still like hearing it in my head.
So it's like one of the original lit RPGs.
The classic lit RPG standard. It's pretty good so far. I'm about halfway, I'd say. Yeah. 26 chapters. I'm on 13.
Someone we know read it and said they liked it. I don't remember who.
I don't know. But it's pretty good. Yeah, it's one of our patrons read it.
Yeah.
It's read by Nick Podell.
Mm-hmm.
So
your boy.
You know that the narration's gonna be
he's good.
Really good. And then I'm reading another book that's also read by Nick Podell.
I need to get this book. Can I order it?
What do you mean? Can you order it? The physical?
Yeah, I don't have it.
So
I have all of them.
N.E.W.T.s. It's like a type of toothpaste. Which I would totally use N.E.W.T.s toothpaste if they had one.
Why?
It's a type of it's a sword, by the way. It's a sword. This is the Weapons and Wielders, Book 2. The first one was what's the name of the first one though? Why can't I remember this? It was the one with Dawnbreaker. Dawnbringer, sorry, Dawnbreaker, somebody else. Meek, where is it? The first one's called Six Sacred Swords. The first one is called Six Sacred Swords. Really? Anyway, this is book 2, and it's like technically like what, book 7 if you count it in that universe. I really like the world that Andrew Rowe is writing with these stories. The first
one in this was my favorite so far out of all of his books.
Yeah, this one has the same exact feel as Six Sacred Swords. It picks up the story right where it left off, and it's that same feel. And definitely, like, the three of them, the 3 book series, definitely have all different feels to them.
Purchase.
Sufficiently Advanced Magic, Arcane Ascension, is that what they call it? Yeah. The Arcane Ascension series is more like a school of like magic wielders kind of thing, different classes and stuff.
To even get into that school, you have to prove yourself by like going into a tower and ascending. So.
Well, it's like a puzzle dungeon tower that could possibly kill you.
Yeah.
And you go in as like a teenager, and if you succeed in it enough, the goddess gives you powers. It gives you like gives you an attunement, which gives you powers.
Yep.
And you know, the main character's looking for his missing brother, and but you have to serve in school to be trained so that you could be. It's basically like a military school. That's really what it is.
Kind of. Yeah.
No, it is, because you have to serve a certain amount of years after. So, and then the other book is more of like, it's more fantastical, I would say. It's
what other book?
The Broken Mirrors series.
That's not my favorite series.
Nobody is saying that it's any. I'm just explaining the three books, because there are 3 book series that all intermingle.
It's like a prequel book series. It's like set in the past.
It's kind of not. Yes, and it isn't. There are some crossovers with the characters. These Weapons and Wielders, you can just read them by themselves. They're really cool, just cool stories. Mm-hmm. But if you read Sufficiently Advanced Magic and the other ones, it does
bring a cool connection, I think.
But so this one, it's one of the characters telling a story of the past of what happened about those 6 sacred swords. Very cool. Very cool idea, I thought, for like the way that he wrote it, and like how it just. And I told you my prediction for the next Arcane Ascension book, how it's gonna like overlap with this one.
This was the first one.
Because the Arcane Ascension book, at the end of book 2, they pick up with this. So one of the characters starts telling this story.
Yeah.
And then something happens in between the 2 in between this one, between 6 Sacred Swords and Diamantine, something happens. Basically, it's in the world of Arcane Ascension. Because when they pull out of that story, they're basically in that world, and then some time goes by, and then they start telling the second part of the story. And there's probably going to be more, because as he starts telling the story, he's like, I don't think we're going to have enough time before we make it to that place to finish the story. So that means that they're going to get there, and that's when he's going to have to pause the story, and then some stuff's going to happen in Arcane Ascension, and then we're going to come back to the story later. Yeah.
So those are your only 2 books?
Oh, yeah, those 2 and that one.
Oh, yeah, Dritz.
And Drizzt.
Dritz.
I started this.
Is he going to be your book boyfriend, too? We're going to have to fight.
No. What's the cat's name?
Guinevere.
Guinevere is going to be mine. My book boyfriend.
It's a girl.
Exactly.
I just thought of a different book that I would want to read instead of this dragon one.
Ooh, Activation. Go. What is it?
I don't have it up here.
Where is it?
Downstairs.
Then go get it.
I think it has a dragon on the...
That's a Hydra. That is not a dragon. That is a Hydra. Show the freaking picture. That is not a dragon.
It's a dragon.
It's a freaking Hydra. It has 3 heads, and one of them is a puppy?
Eating her hair.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's like behind her hair. You're right.
So...
That's a Hydra, mate.
But listen, it says... This person, I can't say her name, loves her valley home in a quiet village, but the corrupted woods stands on the border, full of malevolent power, and its shadow lies over her life. Her people rely on the cold-driven wizard known only as the dragon to keep the woods... Driven wizard only known as the dragon to keep the woods' dark forces at bay, but he demands a terrible price for his assistance. Every 10 years, one young woman must be handed over to serve him without question. But when the dragon comes, then maybe it's not a dragon.
I mean, okay, so look, I'm going to give it to you. You can count that as a dragon, because it could be 3 dragons. Because it has 3 heads. It could be a 3-headed dragon. They could have been trying to draw a dragon, and they don't know what a dragon looks like, so they drew a Hydra.
Is this at least set in winter? Could I use it as a winter one? I talk about dragons a lot.
No, I think the guy's name is Dragon.
I think so too.
The wizard is Dragon. But here's the thing. What is it called?
Uprooted.
But honestly, that could be a dragon.
Someone let me know that's read this. Is that a dragon? Because if it is, I may substitute that.
So wait, you're gonna let them know? They're gonna let you know, but like, we're already recording this. We're doing this right now.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna read this before people see it.
All right, so it's between those 2.
Yeah.
You'll let them decide.
Sure.
Okay. Let us know.
If I read any of them, but
You'll leave that one for last.
people rely, or let me know if it's set in winter, because I could change it out for the Frozen one. I just really want to read this book, and I hear so much about it. I did read Spinning Silver by the same author, and I really liked it a lot. So I'm sure I will like this, because she's a beautiful writer.
What does her looks have to do with it? Jeez.
So let me know, A, if it's set in winter, and B, if that is supposed to be a dragon, or if there's a dragon in the story. Because if there's a dragon in the story, then I'm going to say that's a dragon.
Okay, look.
Real dragon.
You can say it's a dragon. A Hydra is an off-brand dragon. Okay? It's like the Walmart brand of a dragon. You know, sometimes it's just how it is. Okay? Hydras and dragons, though, are natural enemies.
Are they?
In Sufficiently Advanced Magic, they are.
I don't remember that.
Remember?
Nope.
You don't remember? All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this probably pretty long. What is this called again? TBR. And what is the name of the readathon?
N.E.W.T.s.
The N.E.W.T.s readathon. I don't like readathons. Thanks for watching. Say bye, Meek.
Bye, Meek.
Bye, bye, bye.